Hello everyone, and thanks very much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker, and today we've got a quick vlog. It's going to be a quick one. There's not a whole bunch of stuff to get involved with today, so yeah, hopefully it's going to be reasonably sharpish for you guys. So yeah, fingers crossed. So I've got notes. Let me get my notes up. There we go. We're there. Now then, let me tell you why I've not done very many videos recently. If you're on my Vaping Biker Facebook page, you will have seen on Monday morning, I think I mentioned it in the last vlog, on Monday morning I went into hospital and had some injections directly in my spine, in the joints in my spine, just to some steroids having sort of getting pumped in there to hopefully help things with me a little bit. No help from them at the moment, but hopefully we'll get something soon. But it kind of put me out of action for a couple of days. Long story, not going to bore you with it, but yeah, that's why I've not been putting up a whole bunch of content, so I apologise for that, but thank you very much for sticking with me. If you've been with me for a while now, that you know that my health does stupid things. So yeah, thank you very much for being with me. But also, if I'm a little bit kind of today, it's because my brain isn't quite dialed in. I haven't got my sleeping right and everything like that yet, because it still hurts a lot. But there we go. So yeah, thank you very much for your patience on that one, and normal service will resume ASAP. Now then, so that's hospital stuff. The new sound. Thank you very much for those of you that have stuck with me on the new sound. Now, in the last vlog, I told you about the microphone, which I've got going on down here. This is the shotgun mic that is kind of doing some funky things. I've been having a little bit of a play around with the sound since having that. So over the last couple of weeks, my sound has been pretty variable, I think. But this week I did purchase what's called a Zoom H1, which I'm now recording my audio with. So it's going from my microphone directly into the H1, which gives me something that I can play with when I get into Final Cut Pro. And I've used that. I think did I use that on the last review? I think I used it on the last review, and I think we're really starting to make some progress now on getting a really good quality sound. Now, I know a lot of you have said and thank you very much for commenting, but a lot of you have said that there's not really been a need for it, or you know, you've thought my sound has been okay up to this point. But the whole point is, and this is why I've spent a bunch of money on the camera and the lighting and everything else, it's because I want to give it the kind of the best experience that I can. So, you know, albeit within a tight budget, I do want to make sure that not only does it look great, but it sounds great and all that sort of stuff. And then all you've got to worry about is having to deal with this. So if we can put up with that bit and make the rest nicer, then everyone's happy. But yeah, so thank you very much for sticking with me. I think the H1 has definitely helped. I think the last review made the sound was pretty much there, just a couple of tweaks. Someone mentioned that it didn't quite have the warmth that it had before, and that's just a mid-level in the EQ that I've got to just play with a little bit. So we'll get there. Thank you very much for your patience, and I really hope that it's just going to be a really good quality experience for you guys, sitting there having your tea watching me. Now then, apologies for the hat as well. There's a lot of apologies going on at the start of this one, isn't there? Apologies for the hat, but because I've been feeding poo, I've just, you know, hairs all over the show. So, you know, it is what it is. Recognise that I look like a knobhead. Totally okay with it. It was look like a knobhead and get a video out, or no video at all. So there we go. That's why that's there. Now, what I'm not quite sure about is whether you should sort of tuck the tops of your ears in or not. Mind you, having said that, my head's too big. I'm on like the last hole on this snapback, the last one, because my head's so massive. What's that all about? Anyway, let's have a drink, shall we? Cheers to you. Let's get stuck in. Like I said, it's not going to be huge, by any stretch of the imagination. So pulling up my YouTube so we can have a little look, see what we've got to talk about. So let's have a little look. The vlog, the last vlog that came out, I opened up the discussion with you guys about whether reviewers in your eyes should be taking money for sponsorship or for sort of jumping queues of reviews and all that sort of stuff, and paid reviews and all that sort of jazz. And I did say at the time that it wasn't something that I was going to be doing. Not entirely sure if that got any crossed wires, because there was a lot of people sort of suggesting what I should do, and that's absolutely fine. And thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that commented. I made a very kind of I really decided that I wasn't going to reply to a lot of the comments there, although I did read them. I didn't reply to them because I wanted that conversation to kind of really kind of come through naturally, if you like, you know, which to me did a brilliant job, and you guys really did a fantastic job of commenting on that, so thank you very much indeed. I would read a couple out, but you know what's going on here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've started. Based on that one, where are we? Dansus said, absolutely right. If you're making money from the sales of the device, eventually it's going to affect your review one way or another. As for the non-vape review or non-review vape-related stuff, knock yourself out and make money wherever you can. Coach Natalia Worthington, you're one cool guy. No, bless you. There are so many reviews who sell out. Stay true to yourself. And so they're very much along the lines of the kind of the don't do it, which is cool. But at the same time, there were a lot of people, and I'm just having a look to see here if there's a short one that I can read out or not. Hotwired Cumulome said, if you can still do an honest review, then why not? If you're right up front with viewers about what videos are sponsored, we can read between the lines. I don't know, but I respect your hesitancy. To be honest, you're not going to make megabucks from it anyway. I'm sure you'll do what's best, mate, and I appreciate that. But there were a lot of comments saying that you've been watching me for quite some time, and so you knew that my reviews were sort of honest and not kind of influenced anyway, and so you'd be happy for me to do it. Now, that's still not something that I'm comfortable with, and that's purely because it's brilliant. I thank you so much for recognising the sort of content that I'm putting out there, but also it would have, I think it would have a negative effect to people coming to the channel for the future, you know. So I maintain my position in as much as if people do it, that's fair play, and they can go and crack on and enjoy themselves. And I'm certainly not dissing those people for doing a paid review or whatever else. That's absolutely fine. But personally, for me, that's not something that I'm going to be getting involved with. Sure, if a beard oil company or a something, or a lighting people or a camera or whatever else puts money my way for using their equipment or oils or whatever else, then sure, that's absolutely fine, because it's not vape related. But anything vape related, I think, could be seen as having an influential effect on the review that I put out, and I don't want that to happen. So yeah, bearing that in mind, I'm going to stick with not doing that. But I really do appreciate every single one of you that commented. And like I said, I made a sort of a decision not to reply to all of those, because I wanted to see what you all thought, and that was the reason I asked the question, you know. And I think there were some great conversations going on in that thread, so, or in the comments of that video. So thank you very much indeed. It certainly sort of warmed my heart that there were so many of you that were watching and kind of were happy with my position, if you like, of that one. So thank you very much indeed for all of that. I've got another topic that I'll ask you guys about a little bit later on, but we'll come to that later down the line. What else have we done videos wise? I've just come off the bit. So we did the mech mod from Mirage. Now then, this was a contentious one. This really was a contentious one, and the reason for the contention was in the comments there were a lot of people saying that it's essentially a roundhouse. Now, because I'd not had a roundhouse, I didn't know to make that comparison. But thank you very much for those of you that commented to sort of make me look into that one. I would love to be able to say I'm fully up to speed on every single mod out there and can tell you if absolutely anything is similar to something else. But unfortunately, you know, what can you do? Unless you can have everything, you can't really do that. So there are certainly some similarities between the two. There's a few differences. The button, the tab sizes are different. There are a couple of differences with this mod, albeit not very many from the outside looking in. So what I did was I contacted Mirage and I forwarded your comments, or some of your comments, and got them to look at the comments in the video and asked them for a response from that. Because regardless of what we've said, I don't think it's a clone. I think there's, first of all, it's certainly not a one-to-one clone. Second of all, I think there are some developments in it, albeit small ones, but there are ones that make it a different mod, which I'm happy with. So therefore, it's staying up on the channel and it's staying where it is, because I still think it's a great little mod. But yeah, so I asked Mirage for comments, and the response was Mirage worked on the first ever Sheffield-made mech mod, engineered and manufactured completely in the heart of the Steel City over a period of 6 months. The company we chose to engineer has operated for over 45 years and manufactured for Rolls-Royce, Mercedes-Benz and produced surgical standard equipment. We of course took the elements, or some elements, from many of the best products on the market, but we feel we have improved them and created something unique, the Mirage Mech Mod. No expense has been spared on materials, and finished to create a product to last vapors a lifetime, something that we're extremely proud of, and that's absolutely fine. And the other thing is as well, it's their first outing. I think there are enough differences to not be a direct copy of the Roundhouse, but there are certainly a lot of similarities, so it's heavily influenced by it. But what I'm really looking forward to is what these guys come out with next. This has been their first foray into making mechanical mods, so I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, what the next thing is coming from those guys. And while I'm on it, thank you very much for the positive response on the video. I did kind of like a weird thing in the middle of when I was doing the up close of kind of doing a history lesson, and I think someone said that I was like a geography teacher trying to be cool, and the whole reason for that was just because Sheffield is so important in steel manufacture in the UK, but also that's where we get stainless steel from. It's where we get a whole bunch of metals and alloys and everything else from the work that's been done in that part of the country. And so because of that, I felt it necessary to try and impart some of that information, because that kind of, to me, it gave that particular mod and atomizer a little bit of a kind of a special tweak, if you like, you know. Does that make sense? So yeah. And I think it went down all right. I don't think I'll be doing a habit of it, but I think it went down all right. So thank you very much for that. The next thing that came up was the CP RTA. That was something that I thought was actually pretty damn cool. Giving it to the wife. Since the review, gave it to the wife. I'm saying a lot today, aren't I? I really do like the tank, and I think that the floating deck with those particular types of posts, everything made that brilliant, because the moving the deck up in the tank, it was a bit of a weird one. Didn't really know what to expect, but it meant that it was closer to the drip tip, and therefore the flavour really did explode from it, and I really did enjoy that. So I'm a very happy camper with that tank in particular. Would have been brilliant if you could put your own 510 drip tips in it. But as a whole, I stand by exactly what I said in the review. The other thing that we also reviewed was the Chieftain, and that was from Watofo, which I think was a bit of a shock to a lot of us, because like I said in the video, not been a great run with mods with Watofo, but this really did come out and tick a lot of boxes, and worked really well. Really pleased that I waited for as long as I did before I did the review, because I was able to show you how the wear on the paintwork goes. And yeah, and it made sure that the board and the buttons and everything that should work continued to work throughout that time. And yeah, so I'm quite pleased that I waited to get that video out, and it's still working brilliantly. Using the Rashomon RDA on here at the moment, still loving that. That review really does have to come out pretty sharpish. But she's a little chucker. She really is a little chucker. So everyone's a winner on that one. Hey, now then, let me stop the camera and then we can start again. Here we go. And there we go. I just hit the microphone, so hopefully I'll remember to cut that out. Anyway, oh, things hurt. Anyway, so let's move on. Where's my notes gone? Notes. Here we go. Notes. Now then, I said about sponsorship, and I mentioned beard oil. That took me on to something that I wanted to highlight to you guys. A friend of mine has got a written review blog page or blog site about beardy things. I think I've mentioned him in a vlog before, but I'll put a link down below. It's a guy called Zek, and he reviews all beard oils and all this sort of stuff, and they're really, really good. He's done a ton and continues to hammer away at them, and they're really good reviews. So if you're a beardy, I'm going to put a link below, and so you can have a little look and see the stuff that he's had a go at there. I'm rather pleased with how the old face fuzz is going at the moment. I think we're not looking too shabby, are we? Hey, we're getting progress. We're getting progress. I'm going to be a real boy. I really am. Well, that is until they replace my body with a robot, which I imagine will happen at some point. Anyway, right, so what we talked about, hospital, done that. Sound with the Zoom H1. I'm pretty sure I told you about that. Zero memory. Sponsorship as discussed in the last review, we've done that. Zek's reviews, I've told you about that. The Mirage, told you about that. And we've had a little look over the last reviews. Nice, good, well done people. Stuck with it. Got a buggered shoulder. Right, what else is going on? So the stuff that's coming, not a whole bunch of stuff's come in because I'm waiting for stuff to come in from abroad. And I've also got some to tell you about that as well. So there's a few things coming up my way, but not a whole hell of a lot has been going on. Because I bought the H1 to do all of my recording. Let me see if I can show you this, because look, if you're not really kind of sure what these things look like, look at that. Look, don't know, look swish. Don't know, it's got those things. I don't use these because I plug my microphone into it, but yeah, don't know if it looks swish. Oh, is this making loads of noise on the microphone? I've got it attached to my boom arm, you see. Very good. Anyway, because I bought that, I haven't been able to go out and spend money on other bits and bobs, which is an absolute pain in the dick. When it comes to Black Friday and all those vape deals going around. But the sound is more important. So, what has come in is from Heaven's Gifts sent this Joyetech Elitar. Elitar. Anyway, Elitar. And it's supposed to be a pipe. Now, when they asked me if I wanted to review it, I was like, yeah, okay, send me the wooden version of it, or the one that had the sort of the wood paint going on, because yeah, that would be super. But no, they ignored that and sent me Robocop's penis instead. So that's the thing. It's a funny old thing, this pipe, because it's not got the sort of the barrel that you would grasp like a pipe and maybe thumb fire it or something like that. You have to kind of either do this kind of thing, which doesn't really work, or you kind of hold it over the barrel of it and finger fire it there. Now, it comes with two different coils. This is the 1.4 mouth to lung coil in here at the moment. But obviously, because it would be too helpful to send extra coils, I've only got the coils that came with this tank. So by the time this gets reviewed, I may be using a different tank, but at least I can tell you how the coils went on this one. It's a funny little piece of kit, to be honest with you. It's a little bit odd. It's a little bit strange. Maximum voltage on it is... Oh, look at that. With that coil on it, the maximum is 57 watts. There we go. So we've got a voltage limiter on here. So obviously the lower the coil, the more wattage you're going to get out of it, I imagine. Don't know where the box is. Don't know where the box is. I've got a feeling it goes to like 65, 70 watts, something like that. But I'm rocking it at the moment at a crazy 15 watts. Yeah, it's a funny old thing. See, the thing is, with a pipe, not necessarily with this pipe, but with a pipe, it takes me back to when I was smoking, because I did use a pipe, especially when I was in the garage, because I liked it, and I liked the flavoured tobaccos. But when you've got a pipe, and if you've got a beard, and if you've got glasses, you've got the full trifecta going on there. But people take you seriously. If you've got a pipe and you're like that, I think if you look at that over there, that will definitely people go, oh, and they definitely take you seriously. Pointing with a pipe, best thing ever. Yeah. But it does have a very rattly fire button. But yeah, so that's a funny old thing. I'll give that a good old test. But it's a bit of a strange form factor. Not really pipey. so I think it's more gimmicky than functional. But I don't really know why they've had to make it look like a robot appendage. But it's a thing. It's a thing. But yeah, so that came in. That's going to be going up for review. The other thing that came in is this Ammit tank. This is from Geekvape. Came in direct from Geekvape, and it's a funny old thing because, as you know, I don't review tanks unless there's something special or something a little bit different going on. Now, this tank as a whole, they sent me two so I can show you this other one. On the outside of it, it looks gashed, doesn't it? It looks really dull, really just not exciting in my humble opinion. However, the reason I wanted to, or was happy to review this, is because of this here deck. Let's have a little look at that. Can we see that puppy there? Because what you've got going on there, you've got your post holes, obviously, and then if we flick that round, you've got air coming from the long holes underneath, and also from these angled 3 holes at the side here. So it's a single coiler, but has a kind of a funky little airflow thing going on, which is cool. And also, if you look at the side here, these big slots here are your juice holes, which look fantastic. You think, well, that's going to do nothing but wick. I'm going to over wick. It's going to be a bloody nightmare. But what you do is when you put your wick in, you just lay it over the top of these holes at the sides here, and they'll sort of allow the juice to come up. So although you've got dirty great big holes on the side, kind of pointless because you've got only, I would say, what's that, like 2.5 mil? It's not going to be 3 mil. Well, I'll measure it for the review. Holes that actually go to the cotton, so that was a bit strange. But anyway, it was super easy to wick, super easy to get using. It does have a juice flow control, albeit mildly ineffective because of the size of it, and unless you're just closing it off altogether. And yeah, airflow monster. I have got one of the coils that came in the packaging, and that's coming through a fairly monster 0.19, which is for a single coil Clapton. I thought that was a bit heavy, so I kind of had to check it many times. But I imagine that it's all Canthal or something, which is why it's the way it is. But I've not looked into it yet, so more information will come on that at some point. But it's a funky little thing. Size-wise, let's have a little look here at the base. We're looking at about 22. However, at the glass section, we're looking at about 23. So it does get a little bit larger for that extra juice capacity. Yeah, so it's not going to fit in 22mm cage mods, but it will fit in on top of a whole bunch of things and not look too terrible. It just looks dull though. I think it really does not look exciting at all. You can put your own drip tip on there though, which is fun. But you've got a plinth. Why do people... See, I don't get why people have to still put plinths on things. Why do they do that? Let's have a little look and see what this looks like. Let's do this. Does that make it look any better? With the Trinity glass tanks tip on it? I don't think it does. Yeah. We'll put the standard one on for the time being and we'll see how we crack on. Anyway. That's pushing through at a cheeky little 6.39 volts and 44.4 watts on there at the moment, and it's quite nice. Not the quietest tank in the world, but it's quite nice. So yeah, plenty of work to do on that one to make sure that that all rocks nicely for the review. Now then, what's next? What's next? Oh, now I did get a pre-production mod from Grey Haze, but I'm not going to show you yet because it's a pre-production one, and I think it's only right to show you the proper thing. But it's basically an all-in-one affair. It's a mech mod and tank, but I'll be able to give you more information on that later. Oh, exciting thing. Now then, do you remember the video I did showing off the vape mats, these things? With my logo on them? I showed you all of these before, and these as the little mats. And we have the big mats, and we have the plush towels, and we have the the little thin vape rag things with all with the same logos and stuff on them, which looks cool as you like. Now when I talked to you about them before, I said that I was going to get some shipped to me, because while you don't buy them for me and I don't make any money on them, you buy them from Vape Mats in the USA, but the postage cost was crazy to get it to the UK. So what's happened now is Vape Mats have sent me a bunch of the mats and the towels and everything else. So if you do, but if you're words, Dean, if you're from the UK or the EU and you buy from Vape Mats, he then sends me the notification, I then send it out, and he reimburses me the postage cost. So it's way cheaper for you to be able to do that. And that, I thought that was just a quality way of being able to get you to allow, or be able to make sure that you can get hold of the stuff without paying crazy postage. So if you do want one, I think what you have to do is you have to drop him an email, and he will he'll sort it all out for you. So yeah, I'll put all the links to that down below as well. But it's just great that we've got them now in the UK. So yay! The first one of those went out on Monday, I think, and the very nice chap Andrew has got his and put it on Instagram. I shared that earlier on today, so it's very cool to see them out in the wild. I'm really enjoying seeing that. So yeah, whilst I don't make anything, thank you very much to everyone that buys them. I hope you think. I'll tell you what I think is cool, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see. I'm not taking the big one up because everything's all over it. But one of the cool things about this is that kind of, it looks like it's really textured on the top there. It's got that kind of woody sort of look going on, which I really like. And it's obviously not smooth as a smooth thing. But yeah, but also Vape Mats do a whole bunch of very cool mats and things as well. So go, I'll put the website down below so you can go and check that out. Now then, what else is going on? Okay, this is where I've got to remember to put images in the video. Oh, who thinks I'm going to be able to remember to put stuff up? It's a gamble these days. Anyway, I'm going to leave this little section here open because the first thing I want to talk about is the Kanga Drip Box 2. Now, this is a mod that they've talked about. I think it was they got a couple of out before August 8th, I think, but has not been sort of widely available. They've only recently become available in various parts of the country. I think you can buy them in the States and a couple of places in Europe, but they've literally just come out in one store that I'm aware of in the UK at the moment, and it's taking forever to be able to get them on wide release. So I'm really hoping they do turn up sharpish so I can buy one and then I can review it, because I've had a bit of an on-off relationship with Kanga. And this mod, I really do think it looks really quite pleasant. I think it looks functional, and if you like that sort of form factor, which I do, then I think it could be a bit of a winner. The board might be a little bit ropey, but that's why I want to test one. So as soon as I can find one to buy one, then I'll get that in as well. But it's great to see we've got more regulated squonk choices coming out now, and with companies like Kanga doing it. Obviously we've had the 160, the previous drip box from them as well, and the unregulated drip box, which has been, you know, up and down, but this I think could be one of the winners for them. So I'm really hoping good things are going to happen there. Right, let me turn the camera off and turn it on again. Right, so there we go. That's that off and on again, so we can carry on chatting away. So yeah, that one, as soon as I can find out where to buy one that I'm happy with, then I will, and everyone will be a winner. Now then, the other thing is we have, I mentioned the Goon, by the way. Remember I mentioned the Goon LP? Was that in the last vlog? Some buggers have cloned that already, and I tell you, I can't. Oh, it's really annoying. The proper one isn't out on the market yet, for God's sake. I don't need to. No, there's no point in me starting a conversation about clones or no clones. I still think that if cloners will destroy the original, or kind of the market with regards to being able to develop original and quality products for the clones to clone off. You know, so it's kind of something that's going to shoot themselves in the foot. But that's all my own personal opinion. And there's loads of really good affordable stuff out now. Anyway, it was a shame to see that had happened with the Goon. But you know, hopefully we'll see a marked improvement in quality when the proper product does come out this month. Now, a bunch of reviewers have had the Geekvape Karma, which is also, it's kind of a twisted, if I put a picture up here, then you'll know what I'm on about. A bunch of reviewers have had that. Now, they've got theirs from Heaven's Gifts, generally. Now, Heaven's Gifts was a company that I turned down for the Karma recently, for one reason or another. And I'm quite pleased that I did, because what's happened is Geekvape have kind of they've stopped the release on the product because they found out that the 510 pins in the tank was too short. So I don't think they've recalled them, but they've stopped them and told people not to review them for the time being, because what they've done is they've sorted out the tank, made sure the 510 is long enough, and now they're sending those out. So Geekvape are sending mine direct to me from those guys rather than going through any third parties, and that should be with me hopefully in the next couple of days. So we'll see how that goes. Certainly looks like an interesting product, but yeah, I do hope that everyone who's got one for review is fully aware of that fact and has been contacted by the Heaven's Gifts people. I don't know if they actually work with Geekvape or not. I don't know, but I hope that they have been contacted and can obviously relate that information, because I did see a picture of one and the 5-ton was looking very flush with the negative portion of the pin. So yeah, I hope people don't use that and get themselves in any bother. But luckily, I think it's been caught before it's come out with you guys. So that's Aces. Now then, Casey Neistat in the news. Casey Neistat. Oh, if you like me and watch Casey, you'll have seen that he's stopped his vlogging channel. That was a bit of a shame. We used to watch them on a daily basis. But 5 million subscribers, and he goes, "Nah, that's it. No, don't want to do anymore." Crazy, bonkers. Anyway, let's move on. Is there anything else I've got to talk about when it comes to products? Did I talk about this? Let you into a little secret. I recorded a whole vlog and then realised that my H1 ran out of battery halfway through, so I'm re-recording it. So I'm trying to remember if I spoke to you about certain stuff in this one or the last one. Anyway, the chroma from Inikin is still working rather well. I'm rather enjoying it. It's a great little tank, and it seems to be doing a bang-up job in temp mode as well. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Great to see that quite a few people have been buying the little mechanical boxes from Matter M Vapes. That's been, they've seen quite a few of those on Instagram recently. Talking of Instagram, and this is the point that I wanted to, the question that I wanted to ask you guys. Now then, I generally concentrate my time on YouTube and Instagram and my Vaping Biker Facebook page. Those are the 3 areas that you can get hold of me a lot easier than anything else. Now, because of that, I wanted to speak to you guys, because obviously a lot of people use Twitter. And I know there's a bunch of you out there that don't use any social media whatsoever, and that's cool and that's fine. But and so I'll keep trying to do things. I'm still going to do the news shots that I talked about before when interesting stuff comes out, but I haven't seen anything interesting to do it since I said I was going to do it. Oh, excuse me, windy pops. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing those. But for those of you that do use social media, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll notice, I mean, I think I've only got like 800 followers or something on there, because I am shit. When I put something in Instagram, I have that automatically populate both Facebook and Twitter. But then I kind of follow up stuff a lot easier on Facebook, because generally I'm already on Facebook anyway for my personal stuff. So it's just easier to see what's going on. And I forget all about Twitter entirely. Now then, if you think it's worthwhile me being on Twitter as well, then please let me know. If you're a big Twitter, do you tweet a lot? Is that you? Are you one of those people? If you think that that's a valid thing, then I will try and pull my finger out and get more into the Twitterverse. But at the moment, it just confuses me. You know, you open up your page and then you see a bunch of things that you don't care about. That's not what you subscribe to or anything else. So it might just be a usage thing. But yeah, let me know if you're a big Twitter user. Let me know, and I will endeavour to use it more. Otherwise, I'll continue with the Vaping Biker Facebook page, and all the links are always in the description for all of those areas if you want to get hold of me through those. But yeah, so that's what I'd really like to hear from you guys about today. So tell me about your social media experience. What do you use? What do you like? What do you enjoy using? And what do you think is a good kind of format for getting info from me? Be it a question, be it a when I do the raffle and the raffle. I'll come to that in a second. For when I do the raffle or all of that sort of stuff, just let me know. Give me some feedback on that one if you wouldn't mind. Now then, talking about the raffle. I finally talked to the guy that owns a local sanctuary, which I am going to go to the place to do a vlog from, and that's when the raffle is going to be coming out, and it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Granted, not a lot of it is going to be super new gear. It'll be stuff that has been out for a little while, but still some pretty decent kit in there, and there will be some quite new bits and bobs in there also. Excuse me. But I wanted to, whereas before I've done a raffle and just talk to you about it, I want to kind of, when it comes to things like saving animals, I want to be able to go in and show you what people are doing, you know, and so you get kind of a almost first-hand experience of the good work that goes on, that kind of inspires you to kind of buy some raffle tickets, for want of a better word. It all goes down to contributing to those guys directly, but we'll talk about that nearer the time. But I just wanted to give you that kind of more visceral kind of thing of it, rather than me just talking about it. So finally spoken to them, and that's happening. I'm hoping that's going to happen early next week. I imagine a lot of it's going to be weather dependent, because I'll be recording outside, and it'll also be dependent on how able I am to walk. But no, we'll get that going well. So I don't think there's anything else to talk about, guys and girls. Nope. So thanks very much for all the participation that goes on from your end. I really do appreciate it, whatever format that you choose to contact me or speak to me on, or whatever else. I do appreciate all of the comments on all the videos. I do read them all, but sometimes I don't comment back, because I just like to see how a conversation goes, or how or what the general sort of feeling on something is, so I can then address it in a vlog. And I think we've done that. I hope we've done that. I know I've done it at least once today. I got my abstract mods back. Did I tell you that already? I don't think I did. I sent it away just for a little bit of love. And not that there was anything wrong with it, but just to get a couple of things sorted out. And oh, it's lovely. Really pleased to have it back. I'll link down in the description to Abstract Mods as well. That is it, guys and girls. That really is it. I think it is. Right, we're going to crack on and try and get a video a day. I've got to go to the hospital tomorrow afternoon to see my consultant, but hopefully I can get a video out one side of that. And we'll see how we get on. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me, and if you've got this far in the video, thank you so much for listening to me babble on and all my ums and ers and not being able to get words out in the right places. Oh, it's one of them days. And for putting up with the hat, of course. Right, make sure you give this video a like if you fancy. That's always nice, and I will see you very soon on the next review. Thank you very much for watching. I've been doing the Vaping Biker. This is a bit of vlog talking about stuff, and make sure you go out of it large.